Good morning and welcome. Before we begin today's Foundation Day prize-giving ceremony, I would be grateful if you could check to see that your mobile phone is either switched off or on aeroplane mode. We are broadcasting live, and any phone signals are likely to interfere. Also, in the event, the unlikely event, of us needing to evacuate, please remain seated and wait for direction. There is an evacuation plan on your chairs. As you'll see, evacuation is through 3 exits and out onto the AstroTurf. And if we do have an emergency, please don't use the stairs, but go out at ground floor level. At the end of the prize-giving ceremony, you're all invited to join us for a barbecue lunch on the head's lawn. And over lunchtime, there will be a variety of activities, exhibitions, and matches around the campus. Details are in your programme, but I draw your attention to a presentation by the CCF Corps of Drums, an opportunity to view the new Wellbeing Wing, which is upstairs at the far end of School House. There'll be an exhibition from the school archive in the newly refurbished Old Mill Hillians room, and there will be the girls' inter-house hockey competition. As for boys' rugby, we've had hot, dry weather, which has affected our pitches, so we've had to adjust the format and the schedule of some of the fixtures. So the first 15 will now play on park at 2:45. The second 15 will play on park at 1:45. The under-15As will play touch rugby on park at 1:45, and the under-14As will play touch rugby on top field at 2:30. Some players who are winning prizes will have to leave as soon as they've collected their prize so that they can get ready to play. And some other rugby players are watching from the gallery, and at a suitable point, they will leave us as quietly as possible. I do hope that you enjoy the day. So now, ladies and gentlemen, members of the school, would you please stand for the senior monitors and the platform party?
Good morning. Could I now invite the Foundation's chaplain to open today's proceedings?
It's been our privilege to have a service in the chapel already this morning, at which I read this particular prayer, and so I want to incorporate us all in that service that has gone before. And it's a special prayer, which we've only discovered recently. It's very suitable for this day. It's a prayer by Maurice Jacks, who was headmaster of the school from 1922 to 1937. And so, as we think to the future, we connect ourselves to the past, and in the present, we have this beautiful prayer as a gift to us today. Let us pray. A prayer which I hope we can use for all faiths and people of no faith. We give thanks for the founders and benefactors of this school, for the high ideals of those who have guided its history, for the courage of those who have stood by it in its difficulties, for the faith of those who have never faltered in its darkest hours. We thank thee for all who have kept this place in their hearts, for all who have thought for it, prayed for it, worked for it, lived for it, and died for it. Make us worthy of those who have gone before, that we may love this beauty which they have given us, may treasure the Spirit which they have bequeathed to us, and may enrich this life with which they have entrusted us. Amen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please sit. Firstly, thank you, Reverend Warden, for your prayer just now and for leading us in chapel this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow governors, pupils of the school, as a governor, Alderman Hillian, and parent of 2 current pupils, it is a great pleasure to be able to welcome you today to this Foundation Day celebration. I'm delighted to welcome back Leanne Armitage as our guest of honour to present the prizes this morning. Leanne is a remarkable and inspirational woman, and I shall say a little bit more about her later on. This last year has seen success in the classroom matched by resounding sporting triumph and outstanding achievements in music, drama, and many other activities across the Foundation. I'd like to thank each member of our academic and support staff who have contributed to this success, without whose hard work, professionalism, and dedication to the Foundation we would not have been able to achieve. As a foundation, we recognise that education is about far more than just passing exams. It is about equipping our young people with a set of values: resilience, passion, self-confidence, commitment, tolerance, determination and strength, as well as the skills to enable them to discover and celebrate their unique individuality and diversity and find their own path to happiness and success. This year, we have seen both the Conservative and the Labour parties consider policies that would have a profound impact on independent schools. These policies seem to be driven by ideology or a desire for headlines rather than evidence. Independent schools like Mill Hill provide a high-quality, well-rounded education, but it is hugely important to acknowledge that independent schools also save the taxpayer about £3.5 billion each year by providing places for pupils who could otherwise be expected to take up places in the state-funded sector. Like many other independent schools, Mill Hill has long sought to broaden access by offering places to deserving children from families who could not otherwise be expected to pay the fees. Bursaries are part of our heritage. They have been helping Mill Hillians for over 200 years and enrich our school, as well as having a life-changing impact on recipients. This year, we have continued to expand our partnership with Copthall School. This partnership provides benefits to Mill Hill pupils, giving them a much better understanding of people from different backgrounds, helping our pupils develop their own values, helping them develop their own leadership skills, and an appreciation of the difference they can make in other people's lives. The governors are extremely appreciative of all the support, time, and funding that parents, Alderman Hillians, and so many others provide to the Foundation. We are also grateful to those who continue to give so generously to the Foundation's A Better Chance bursary appeal. I would like to thank my predecessor, Dr. Amanda Craig, for her dedication to the Foundation and the important part she played in the development and progress of all 4 schools in the Foundation. Dr. Craig was a governor for 12 years, served as chair of the Pastoral Committee, and was the designated governor responsible for safeguarding. Dr. Craig was integral to the Foundation's focus on ensuring the welfare and safeguarding of all of our pupils. This year, Pamela Wilkes also stepped down from the court. Pamela has been a governor for 9 years and was the chair of our academic committee from 2014. As an ex-headmistress, Pamela provided invaluable challenge and support to the executive team. May I take this opportunity to express my thanks to all my colleague governors, all of whom have busy careers, but who give so generously of their time and expertise to ensure the successful continuation of the governance of this foundation. At the start of this year, the governors carefully considered the foundation's leadership and took the decision to separate the role of chief executive from head of the senior school, to enable us to respond to the challenges and opportunities facing the foundation. We were delighted to appoint Anthony Spencer as our chief executive and look forward to him starting next term. Anthony has a degree in politics, philosophy and economics from Queen's College, Oxford, qualified as a chartered accountant, and will join the foundation following 7 years as principal of St. Lawrence's College in Ramsgate. The court also confirmed the appointment of Mrs. Sanchez as the permanent head of the senior school following a competitive recruitment process. I would like to thank Mrs. Sanchez and the heads of the other foundation schools for Mr. Roberts, Mrs. Simons and Mrs. Bellotti for agreeing to supplement their already heavy workloads with individual responsibilities for leadership of the foundation before the arrival of the new chief executive. Thank you. Although Mrs. Sanchez has only been head for 1 year, she has already demonstrated her commitment to ensuring the senior school helps each child achieve their academic potential, as well as supporting their wider personal growth. Mrs. Sanchez has made a profound positive difference to every aspect of the school: the timetable, our pastoral care, the buildings, the academic focus, our new wellness space and the focus on mental health for pupils and staff are just some of the changes that she's introduced. Her desire to work with staff and pupils, listen to their feedback, has made the school a happier place that now buzzes with energy. Mrs. Sanchez, thank you for your energy and enthusiasm, your commitment to the staff and the pupils. May I invite you now to deliver your report.
Thank you. Elliot, governors, fellow executives, distinguished guests, Old Mill Hillians, current and former parents, friends and supporters, staff, pupils, and leavers of 2019. I should like to begin by echoing the Chairman's words of welcome, particularly to our guest of honour, Leanne Armitage, a distinguished Old Mill Hillian who is the first to attribute achievements in widening access to medical training to the opportunity provided for her as a sixth form pupil at Mill Hill School. I'm delighted that the Worshipful, the Mayor of the London Borough of Barnet, and her consort, Dr. Stock, are able to join us today. Madam Mayor and Dr. Stock, you are most welcome, and I hope that you spend an excellent day with us. Mr. William Winfield and his wife Margaret join us as my very special guests. William joined the school as a French tutor and resident tutor in Burton Bank in 1970, and in due course went on to become Head of Modern Languages, Director of Studies, Deputy Head, Headmaster, and Chief Executive of the Mill Hill School Foundation, before retiring after the school's bicentenary celebrations and opening of the Fayville building in 2007. Our new day house, Winfield House, is named after William in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the Mill Hill School Foundation over a lifetime of service. The new house opened just 3 weeks ago in a planned response to our growth in pupil numbers. There will be a formal opening ceremony of the house at 2:15 for William, pupils, staff, parents and guests, and many of whom are William's contemporaries, invited back to join us today. It is wonderful to see so many former colleagues, and I hope that aside from the formalities, you will welcome the opportunity to catch up on the old days in a place that you will probably view as your second home, as I do. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who has contributed to preparing for today's events, particularly my Senior Deputy Head, Alex Fraser, who has worked tirelessly with members of the senior leadership team, administrative, maintenance, teaching and other support staff, and with the pupils to ensure that we can all enjoy this truly wonderful occasion. And I must not forget to thank our pupil-led film production group, who, under the guidance of Mr. Minette, are live streaming the event to the large. Such was the demand for tickets. It has been a truly magnificent team effort, and I am genuinely appreciative of the support I have received on all fronts. Thank you. Today is a day for celebration. On this stage, precisely 1 year ago, I stood before you as a fledgling head, in an acting role, facing the daunting prospect not only of taking up the reins of headship, but also of charting a course for the school's development in the coming years. Today, with 1 year under my belt, and as I look to the future, it is absolutely appropriate that we should recognise just what we have achieved, how far we have come, and what exciting possibilities lie before us. I'm very grateful to my fellow executives and the Court of Governors for their unwavering support as I have settled into my new role, principally as head of Mill Hill School, but also in my shared capacity with the Foundation executives as CEO of the Mill Hill School Foundation, in anticipation of the arrival of our new CEO, who takes up his post in January. In this period of change and recalibration, we have worked collaboratively in the spirit of one foundation to ensure that we deliver the best outcomes for all pupils and that the journey from childhood to adulthood prepares them for the challenges of life beyond Mill Hill. These are exciting times, with the foundation schools ever more popular and the need to plan for growth increasingly important. Last year, I referenced the outstanding headship of Sir John David McClure, headmaster from 1891 until 1922, during which he guided the school through the most challenging of times, in addition to demonstrating the vision and foresight to develop the estate for generations of Mill Hillians to come. At this time of growth for the foundation, I too have worked hard to develop the Mill Hill School environment, to optimise the educational experience for all of our pupils, to show off its heritage and architectural gems, make the most of its beautiful grounds, and ensure that we retain our unique ethos and family feel. I'm satisfied that phase 1 of my vision has been accomplished, and that we have made magnificent strides in improving the learning environment. However, there is still much to be done, whether in the refurbishment of key areas, such as the Marnham building, or the continued improvement of our co-curricular facilities. Our first project, however, is the long-awaited redevelopment of the music school, taking place this year, and made possible by an extremely generous donation from a long-standing supporter of the foundation. The project includes the complete renovation of all existing teaching and practice rooms, the installation of a fully equipped recording studio, and the transformation of the recital hall and external building to their full glory. We look forward to welcoming everyone to an official opening later on in the year. For now, though, I'm enjoying the new look of the school, including the freshly painted and curated Octagon and Old Mill Hillians room, where calm greys and greens, original floors, and carefully placed paintings and photographs are the order of the day. 2 new computer and DT classrooms, a newly located and refreshed learning support department within the main school building, a wellbeing wing with its bespoke counselling rooms, offices for key staff, and a wellbeing space, the brainchild of the pupil-led Mill Hill Minds group. The video production unit, a bespoke space out of which the pupil-led team operate, born of a desire to support this outstanding example of pupil innovation and enterprise. And last but not least, Winfield House, with its fresh and modern turquoise and grey colour scheme. As I said, there is much to celebrate. Before I move on from Sir John McClure and the estate, I have a treat for you. Last week, our wonderful chapel, constructing during McClure's tenure, was the venue for the first rendition of a hymn penned by Sir John himself. We have no idea when it was last performed, but some of you were lucky enough to hear it in chapel earlier. For its first official performance, I'm thrilled to welcome members of the chapel choir who will perform it for us. Thank you. Thank you, Chapel Choir, and also thank you, Mr. Kyle, for arranging the hymn so beautifully. Striving for academic excellence is central to our core purpose. Our A-level class of 2019 acquitted themselves exceptionally well, enabling a large proportion of this year's leavers to secure places at their higher education institution of choice in their chosen field of study. In true Mill Hillian style, we have seen pupils opting to study an exceptionally broad range of disciplines, from the most traditional academic subjects through to courses such as fashion marketing and forensic investigation, with 3 Mill Hillians commencing their medicine courses and 1 pupil taking up her place to read veterinary sciences. This year, Nottingham, Bristol and Edinburgh were the most popular destinations, although you will note from the school year review booklet on your seat that the most striking feature is diversity, with our pupils opting to go to one of over 50 different universities, Amongst these are 5 pupils taking up places at Oxford or Cambridge, and 5 who will be studying overseas. As always, a number of pupils have deferred taking up their university places to take a gap year, including Theo Sergio, who is already making the most of his year out before going to Keble College, Oxford, to read philosophy, politics, and economics. Theo is currently advising the government on knife crime, building upon his groundbreaking work with the Youth Parliament as the Youth MP for Enfield. The youngest person ever to have sat at the cabinet table in number 10, his determination to make a difference to the lives of young people is hugely impressive, and I have no doubt that we will be seeing him in the public forum in years to come. I would like to extend my hearty congratulations to all our leavers today. You have achieved excellent results in a climate of increasingly rigorous testing, and you take with you our very best wishes for success in the future. We were equally delighted to celebrate the excellent performance of our pupils in their GCSE examinations, with 57% of passes at grades 9 to 7 and 78% at grades 9 to 6. This year's cohort has risen to the challenge with great success. 12 pupils are to be particularly commended for achieving 9 or more grades 8 or 9, and over a third of all passes were at these 2 top grades. Mill Hill continues to be a popular option for pupils wishing to continue their A-level studies, and the new lower 6 cohort has made an extremely encouraging start to their academic courses. I'm looking forward to seeing them flourish as they take advantage of the many opportunities available, both through the curriculum and the extensive programme of enrichment and co-curricular activities. We continue to be proud of our broad academic range and our ability to bring out the best in pupils across the ability spectrum. We are pleased to see how there are so many individual success stories in this year's examination results, not least because in addition to the excellent achievements at the top end of the grade range, there are many others which reflect personal endeavour and determination. As we embark upon the new term, Mill Hill has benefited from a renewed energy, positivity, and aspiration in the classroom. The revised timetable and slightly amended shape to the school day have provided an added degree of focus with slightly more frequent, shorter lessons. As a result, the pupils have made a fantastic start to their academic studies and are rising to the challenges before them, with the 3 touchstones to guide them: pride, participation, and perseverance. The new staff too have already started to make their mark on the school, fitting seamlessly into an already talented and professional staff body, demonstrating the drive, quality, and enthusiasm which will bring out the best in our pupils. Also in place are the many staff who have assumed new positions of responsibility in 2019, created to enhance the quality of provision in key aspects of school life and to offer professional development opportunities for staff. These roles focus on careers, higher education, charitable activities, community action, environmental awareness, the Duke of Edinburgh Award, and innovation and enterprise. And so, as we embark upon the new academic year, I would like to extend my thanks to all members of the teaching and support staff for their unwavering loyalty. I particularly wish to pay tribute to my senior leadership team, who have worked tirelessly over the past year to support me in leading the school and in planning for change. Collectively, the staff at Mill Hill are very much a team, working collaboratively towards shared goals, and whilst I may be at the helm, they are all absolutely integral to the success of this great school. Our co-curricular programme, with a focus on providing breadth and depth of opportunities to allow every pupil to find his or her niche, is at the heart of what we do. It would be impossible to acknowledge here each individual event or activity. You will find some of them in the school year review booklet, giving a flavour of life at Mill Hill. And of course, a glance at the school website and social media channels on any day of the week will convey a sense of just how much is going on. That said, my own highlights include the school production, Bugsy Malone, which was hugely entertaining and a tribute to the joint efforts of the drama and music departments. The arrival of our third sporting exchange pupil from the Sunshine Coast Grammar School, followed by 3 of our rugby-playing 5th form pupils travelling to Australia for a 7-week exchange over the summer. A revamped house music competition, which saw the whole school off timetable to watch or perform to a packed sports hall. The magnificent contribution of the CCF to the life of Mill Hill, which reached new heights in 2019. A special mention must go to the Corps of Drums, whose reputation in London is unrivaled. And finally, Activities Week, including work experience, which was bigger and better than ever, and a fitting end to the school year. We must, of course, recognise that none of this would be possible without the support of the staff. Many hundreds of hours each week are spent in supporting Mill Hill pupils in learning beyond the classroom, and Mill Hill would be all the poorer without them. Suffice to say that the co-curricular programme, coupled with the increasing quality and volume of educational visits, continues to develop apace, which makes it a very exciting time indeed to be in the foundation. We've had a lot of fun with music this year. The Christmas video, house music, a million concerts, and of course, my first professional appearance as a concert pianist on April Fool's Day, which gained nearly 2,000 likes on Facebook. Owing to today's difficulties with the number of people and available space in the sports hall, the next short musical item will be a double bass and a snare drum duet. Enjoy. I've always wanted to do a Foundation Day flash mob, and we've been planning it for a while now. What next, you may be asking? I know that the sixth form were asking, thinking, what's going on here? Well, we'll just have to wait and see what I come up with next time. In all seriousness, though, it's invariably these sorts of fun activities that bring people together within any community, strengthening ties, breaking down barriers, offering shared experiences, and putting a smile on our faces. And we all know how important it is to be happy at school, at work, and in our personal lives. With pastoral care and well-being high on the Foundation's list of priorities and central to our Foundation development plan, I'm committed to continuing to develop our already excellent work in this area. Listening to feedback from pupils, staff, parents, and others is probably one of the most valuable activities I've undertaken throughout my career, but particularly since taking up my position as head. Of course, receiving positive feedback is always wonderful, and my office is adorned with cards and thank you notes, and I have to admit to having a file of all those nice emails that come in that I've received over the course of the year, just in case the inspectors come calling, or on those rare occasions when I've had a bad day. However, in terms of moving the school forwards, probably the most helpful feedback is the constructive criticism I have received from pupils on the Full School Council, through small group feedback sessions, pupil questionnaires, or at events such as the Big Idea, or from staff in my head's common room meetings, or staff questionnaires, and from parents through individual emails, meetings, and from events such as the Meet the Head afternoon tea. Feedback can sometimes be uncomfortable, nor is it possible to respond to or take on board every idea. But if we truly want to excel and to consistently achieve gold standard, as I do, then we must listen to and be prepared to take action. Indeed, listening to feedback in 2019 has led to the following additions in today's proceedings alone. For the first time, I shall be awarding prizes in each year group to recognise academic endeavour. The new Interhouse Challenge Shield will also be presented to the winning house during the prize-giving ceremony, along with a new award, the Unsung Hero, suggested by the Full School Council and voted for by the pupil body. And finally, the vote of thanks will include short presentations from all 3 senior monitors, including, for the first time, the senior boarding monitor. Thank you to all of those who have, in their various forms, given me feedback, and please do keep it coming. Commemoration is in Mill Hill's DNA, and last year was no exception. The 11th of November 2018 marked 100 years since the end of the First World War, and the traditional call to remembrance ceremony involving the whole school was developed still further to mark this important point in history. During an additional and exceptionally moving service in memory of the fallen, members of the lower sixths laid paper poppies in the chapel garden, lovingly created by pupils from across the age spectrum, before moving off in silence to pay their respects at the Gate of Honour. The subsequent chapel service and presentations to all pupils focused on Mill Hill's fallen heroes. Always moving, the poignancy of the service was felt even more acutely as the images of these young men, complete with name, house, and age, looked down upon us from the chapel walls. As I speak, we are commemorating yet another key period in the school's history. For on the 22nd of September 1939, 80 years ago tomorrow, pupils from Belmont and Mill Hill schools arrived at St Helens train station in Cockermouth in Cumbria. Whilst Belmont pupils remained in Cockermouth, Mill Hill pupils travelled onwards to St Bees School and Village on the coast. And for several hundred Mill Hillians, this small village in the northwest of England was home for at least part of the war. Since that time, St Bees has held a special place in the hearts of Mill Hillians, with one of our boarding houses bearing its name. I'm delighted that the proprietor of St Bees School, Mr Danny Wang, is one of my guests here with us today, having flown in specially from Hong Kong. Working closely with an old St Besian colleague, Mr Wang's investment enabled St Bees to reopen after its closure in 2016. And we are very much looking forward to continuing to develop our already strong ties. I'm very pleased that the link between our schools will also be celebrated in a St Bees stained glass window to be installed in the chapel, mirroring the Mill Hill window in the chapel in St Bees. A further landmark in 2019 is the 150th anniversary of rugby at Mill Hill. Celebrations will include a match between a Mill Hill Foundation Staff 15 and an Old Mill Hillians 15 on the afternoon of Saturday the 12th of October on Top Field. Where else? A reception and buffet supper will follow the game, giving ample opportunity to formally celebrate one of Mill Hill's most traditional sports. And finally, two old Belmontians, Mill Hillians, made history at the end of the summer holiday. Rosie Welsh and Greg Walsh, who were in the same year group and left school in 2009, were married in the Mill Hill Chapel in late August. Rosie is also the daughter of Andrew Welsh, Mill Hill School Governor and Old Mill Hillian himself. Following the service, they celebrated the happy occasion on Top Terrace at Mill Hill and on the headmaster's lawn at Belmont, recognising the importance of both schools to them. I'm sure that you will join me in wishing the happy couple all the best as they embark upon their married life. A recent report entitled School Without Walls featured schools whose community engagement and external partnerships are core to their mission, believing that a good education must develop children's curiosity, creativity, and kindness, making good citizens who are equipped to lead meaningful lives. Separately, at last year's education conference at Brighton College, senior leaders at independent schools were urged to develop their state sector partnerships. One look at Mill Hill's entry on the Schools Together website demonstrates our commitment to building mutually beneficial links with our external partners. Although looking beyond our walls is already part of our mission, and the foundation schools can be justifiably proud of the broad range of exciting and meaningful initiatives being undertaken. We continue to develop strong and flourishing partnership with Copthall School, with the senior leadership teams of both schools working together to develop joint initiatives. And I'm pleased to welcome Julia Blackman, the Chair of Governors at Copthall, and a Mill Hill parent, together with her husband Tony, here today. Our links with the London Academy of Excellence, Tottenham, are also growing, with our first joint teaching appointment made this summer and my own appointment to the LAET Board of Governors, with specific responsibility for safeguarding and special educational needs. And our longest partnership, the joint CCF initiative with Mill Hill County, now in its 11th year, is an excellent example of how such relationships can evolve and deepen with the right ingredients. Mill Hill also has a tradition of overseas partnerships, which give Mill Hillians the opportunity to gain a global perspective and encourages them to be productive citizens in a world of inequality. Opportunities to work with children in India and Africa are life-changing, not just for the children who benefit from the teaching or coaching, but for the Mill Hillians who come back from their experiences forever changed. The striking feature of all of these partnerships is the commitment from each school or organisation to offer high-quality opportunities for growth and development, producing positive and transformational outcomes for the young people involved. And through these opportunities and the myriad of other, smaller, community and charitable initiatives, we instill within each of our pupils the importance of giving back to society. Of course, the Foundation is equally committed to supporting widened access by welcoming pupils from diverse ethnic, cultural, religious, socioeconomic and non-traditional backgrounds through the provision of bursaries. The A Better Chance bursary campaign has continued to raise funds to support pupils who would benefit from a Mill Hill education, from one-off donations or regular gifts from both Old Mill Hillians and parents, and through fundraising, such as the ABC Fun Run. Our guest speaker, Leanne Armitage, has given generously of her time since leaving the school, supporting us in fundraising events, which in turn provide opportunities for future generations to benefit from a Mill Hill education in the way that she did. Having left Mill Hill, Leanne relentlessly pursued her dream of a successful career in medicine. However, while studying, she has devoted such extraordinary energy to encouraging others from backgrounds such as her own to pursue medical careers that she has earned the Queen's Young Leaders Award and been widely featured in TV, radio, and press coverage. I'm looking forward to hearing Leanne's experience and thoughts on her work when she speaks to us in a few minutes. At this point, I would like to pay tribute to Nick Priestnell, who, since 2006, has skillfully led the Development Office in raising in excess of £10 million towards bursaries and capital projects and from fundraising activities. Nick is retiring after nearly 14 years of service and is looking forward to develop his various projects and interests. However, he's currently working on the successful Belmont fundraising campaign for the sports hall and will leave us once that is complete at the end of October. Nick, you take with you our very best wishes for the future and our sincere appreciation of all that you have done for the Foundation over these many years. Now, many of you know that I love jazz, and I insist on at least one indulgence a year at Foundation Day. I'm delighted to ask one of our upper sixth form pupils to perform a number made famous by jazz legend Etta James. She sang it beautifully in a concert at the start of term, and I'm thrilled that she has agreed to sing it again. Please welcome Daisy Martin.
Within the spell was cast. and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at last.
The second time around. Last week, I attended the prize giving for the upper six leavers of the London Academy of Education does not stop once you graduate. Employment. These are challenging times. Jobs for life are a thing of the past, and innovation and change are what define the road ahead. To quote one of Mill Hill's most distinguished former headmasters, Maurice Jacks, we have to educate, not for a changed world, but for a world that is changing all the time. 90 years on, his words ring truer than ever. Aspiration. Aim high. Set your sights on an ambitious goal and keep your focus on the bigger picture, whatever the challenges along the way. Believe in yourself and in your ability to achieve great things, and you will succeed. Community. Give back. As Mill Hillians, you have the opportunity to inspire others, to play your part in the wider Mill Hill family, and to follow Leanne's example by finding your own way of contributing to society. In William Wingfield's final speech as headmaster in September 1996, he concluded, I suspect that few schools would take issue with the idea that they are places where pupils learn to learn. Mill Hill, with its all-round education and its ethos of shared intellectual and social experience, is, I believe, a place where, to quote William Wilberforce, its pupils learn to live. There is no doubt in my mind which of the two is the better preparation for life. At Mill Hill, learning to live is about being happy in yourselves and sharing that happiness with others. Finding your passion, honing your skills, and achieving your goals. Gaining the confidence to take your place in society and believing that you can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanchez, for that excellent report. Everyone associated with the foundation should feel very proud of the successes and achievements you've just outlined. It now gives me enormous pleasure to welcome our guest of honour, Leanne Armitage, back to Mill Hill. 6 years ago, Leanne returned to this sports hall after completing her A-levels to pick up a Headmaster's Prize and the Arthur Jabber Memorial Prize for the best upper sixth form scientist. She had left the upper sixth with 3 A's in her A-levels, but had been left heartbroken with her dreams of becoming a surgeon in tatters after her applications to medical school applied to medical school and secured 3 offers from medical schools with the aim of increasing diversity across UK medical schools. As a result of her work, Leanne has received widespread support and accolade. As we heard last year, she received the Queen's Young Leaders Award from Her Majesty. Leanne exemplifies some of the Foundation's key values: resilience, passion, commitment, determination, and strength. She is a shining example of what all of our pupils can go on to achieve. Leanne was also one of the early beneficiaries of a Better Chance bursary, and we are delighted that she has already demonstrated the benefit to the individual, to the Foundation, and to society of that programme. May I now invite you, Leanne, to present the prizes.
Thank you.
4 of last year's 6 senior monitors have been able to return this morning. In recognition of the superb work that they carried out last academic year, we would like to present Hugo Forte, André Legenvan, Jay Popat, and Imogen Pryor with a picture of the school. We are delighted that a good number of last year's upper sixth formers have come today to receive their prizes in person. Some have already gone to start their university studies and are so unable to be here. The citations for all prizes are written in your programme. I shall therefore announce only the name of each prize and the prize winner. The Old Mill Hillians Club President's Prize, the Arthur Jubber Award for Science, the Eric Dangerfield Senior Prize for Mathematics, the Walter Isaac Music Prize for Woodwind, and the Upper Sixth Form Prize for Biology are awarded to Yasmin Adewuzi, and the Old Mill Hillians Club Prize is awarded to Jay Popat. Heads prizes are awarded to Abir Divanizadeh, Chantel Giroux and Finlay Martin. The Johnston Award is awarded to William Jackson, and the Alison Hampton Memorial Prize and the Aguilar Salva are awarded to Imogen Pryor. The Martin Wolfe Memorial Prize is awarded to Rory Howe. The Hamilton Bailey Memorial Prize and a Sports Scholarship are awarded to Callum Whitworth. The Simpson Memorial Prize is awarded to Jessie Byrne, and the Lefevre Prize, the Eric Dangerfield Junior Prize for Mathematics, the Fifth Form Prize for French, and an exhibition for computer science are awarded to Cameron Fox. The Amit Hindocha Prize is awarded privately. The Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Cowing Award, the James Berwin Presentation Sword, and the Lower Sixth Form Prize for Music are awarded to Ching Kwok. The Middlesex Regiment Prize, the Fifth Form Prize for Latin, and a scholarship for chemistry and biology are awarded to Omre Omani. The Anant Parekh Prize for Academic Achievement is awarded to Oscar O'Flanagan. The Old Mill Hillians Senior Literary Prize to Oscar Isaacs. And the Old Mill Hillians Junior Literary Prize, the Fifth Form Academic Endeavour Prize, and the Fifth Form Prize to English to Amélie Couette. A Heads Prize, the Old Mill Hillians Livery Association Upper Sixth Form Prize for History, the Buscher Prize for Speech and Drama, and the Zach Permit Award are awarded to Theodore Sergiu. The Old Mill Hillians Livery Association Lower Sixth Form Prize for History, the Nicholas Proper Cup, and the Lower Sixth Form Prize for Biology are awarded to Alfie Shikale. The Alan Phimister Upper School Prize for History and the Lower Sixth Form Prize for German to Sylvia Richards, and the Alan Phimister Lower School Prize for History, the Fifth Form Prize for History, and an exhibition for English and History are awarded to Alexander Wallace. A Heads Prize and the Edward Sheffield Prize for Classics are awarded to Lucas Ward. A Heads Prize and the Walter Knox Prize for Chemistry to Hannah Beckett. The Gregory Prize for Chemistry to Florin Kay, and the McClure Music Prize and the Angela Rumbold Upper School Prize for Leadership to Hugo Forte. The Sixth Form Choral Prize is awarded to Braden Thompson. A Heads Prize, the Sixth Form Organ Prize, and the Gundry Senior Composition Prize to Tal Goldstein. The Junior Sire Prize for Strings and the Fourth Form Prize for Music to Nathan Ng. And the Junior Richard Lister Franks Prize and the Gundry Junior Composition Prize to Ethan Lieber. The Charles Farrow Prize for Singing and the William Parkin Prize are awarded to Ellen Baumring Gledhill. The Helmore Vocal Prize to Yassin Abu Tsra. The Senior Pierce Prize for Art and the Unsung Hero Award to Isabel Minkoff. And the Junior Pierce Prize for Art to Laura Magid. Gemini Art Prize for Collage is awarded to Airi Suzuki and Lucas Taberna, the prize for a portfolio of drawings to Sophia Parfit, and the Swin Prize for Graphics to Alina Ng. A Heads Prize, the Lanford Prize for Design, and the Upper Sixth Form Prize for Physics are awarded to Daniel Hildebrand. The Otto Kellerman Memorial Prize for Design Technology Innovation and an exhibition for design technology are awarded to Keon Kalani. The Digital Literacy Award and the Fourth Form Prizes for Chemistry and Mathematics to Elliot Forrest. And the Alan Toulson Cup for Enterprise and Innovation is awarded to Burton Bank House. Heads Prize and the Roger Graham Award for Information Technology are awarded to James Atkinson. The Angela Rumbold Lower School Prize for Leadership and the Fifth Form Prize for Physical Education to Zach Dimitriades. The Anupa Soni Award to Charles Bertolotti, and the Inter-House Shield is awarded to Atkinson House. The G. Ainsworth Waits Prize is awarded to Huey Mohan. The Sam Duckworth Award, an exhibition for physical education, and a sports scholarship are awarded to Eddie Hildebrand, and the McAdam Shield is awarded to James Samara Singh. Upper Sixth Form prizes. A Heads Prize, the Upper Sixth Form Academic Endeavour Prize, and the Prize for English are awarded to Sophia Linden Stanford. The Prize for Classical Civilization to Peter Dodd. The Prize for English as an Additional Language to Joy Lee. And a Heads Prize and the Prize for Further Mathematics to Ali Zhang. A Heads Prize and the Prize for Physical Education are awarded to André Lejeanvan, the Prize for Psychology to Isabella Soteriou, and a Heads Prize and the Prize for Religious Studies to Charlotte Kilbourne. In the lower sixth form, the Academic Endeavour Prize is awarded to Ruby Atkins, Art to Francesca Graville, Business, Carola Profeta, Chemistry, Dan Rose, and Classical Civilization, Shreya Sharma. The prize for computer science goes to Cosmo Coleman, drama, Daisy Martin, design technology, Hugo Mutkin, economics, Yasha Selby, and English, Eleanor Dearden. The French prize is awarded to Emilia Barzelet, Geography, Oliver Hart, Government and Politics, Leah Mordeski-Burstin, and Latin, Isabel Nash. The prizes for mathematics and physics are awarded to Noah Zenios, physical education and religious studies to Christopher Contis, psychology, Daniel Kahn, and Spanish, Jacob Carroll. Fifth form prizes. The prize for biology and an exhibition for biology are awarded to Michelle Senior, the prize for classical civilization and a sports scholarship to Liberty Dickin, the prize for computer science and an exhibition for computer science to Sam Tackerbury, and the prize for drama and an exhibition for religious studies to Kayla Hommel. The prize for English as an additional language is awarded to Amir Ali Abikanov. Geography, Pavanvir Patra. The prize for German and an exhibition for French to James Enrat Mooney, and the prize for Information Technology to James Munyambu. The prize for physics is awarded to Maxwell Shang. Religious studies, Sam Luxon. The prize for science and a sports scholarship to Matthew Boyd, and the prize for Spanish and an exhibition for Spanish and art to Veronica Murray. Remove prizes. The Academic Endeavour Prize is awarded to Ted McKenna. Art, Rachel Cummings. Chemistry, Nihal Khan. Classical Civilization, Harriet Shrimpton. And Computer Science and English, Rihanna Lally. Drama, Thomas Bergering. Design Technology and Physics, Nathan Simon. English as an additional language, Bel Insatit. And French and Mathematics, Kinnari Ratnayaka. Geography, Ella Conway. German, Eliza Faisal. History, Beatrice Atkins. And Information Technology, Samuel Seaman. Latin, Thomas Kelly. Music, Clement Nelson. Physical Education and Religious Studies, Hannah Hyman. And Spanish, Edward Sachs. In the fourth form, the Academic Endeavour Prize is awarded to Farrell Johnson. Art, Ivy Hurt. Biology and History, Benjamin Kramer. Design Technology, Lian Matsuo. And Drama, Ishan Patel. English, Yuval Kovo. English as an additional language, Polina Kvostova. French, Isabella Miles, Geography, Robert Ebner Statt, and Latin, Edward O'Keefe. Physics, Albert Mann, Religious Studies, Eden Leani, and Spanish, Michael Liu. Each year, a number of boys and girls take our scholarship examinations and assessments. Those who are successful are awarded a variety of scholarships, exhibitions, or special awards. Sixth form awards. A scholarship for chemistry and biology is awarded to Eve Partridge, a scholarship for religious studies and history to Emma Jellin, an exhibition for computer science and history to Oliver Clements, and an exhibition for mathematics and physics to Eric Huang. An exhibition for art is awarded to Nicholas Jenkins, exhibitions for computer science to Artem Cherushin and Nita Krasnichi, and exhibitions for drama to Giuliano Aricale and Jasper Isaacs. An exhibition for history and a sports scholarship are awarded to Kit Nyman McKnight, an exhibition for history to Miles McIntosh, an exhibition for mathematics to Nicholas Michael, and an exhibition for Spanish to Jessica Waller. Sports scholarships are awarded to Lucy Allen, Owen McGowan, Daniel Onochi Williams, and Fraser Palmer. Fourth form awards. An academic scholarship is awarded to Ivan Elliott. Academic scholarships and sports scholarships are awarded to Scarlett Petchy and Ella Robinson. A drama scholarship is awarded to Noah Keller, and music scholarships to Tommaso Lombardo and Ruhan Verma. A sports scholarship and an exhibition for French are awarded to Joseph Leslie. A continuation award to include an academic scholarship to Nikhil Shah. A continuation award to include an academic scholarship and an exhibition for design technology to Ishani Shah. A continuation award to include an academic scholarship and a music scholarship is awarded to Edgar Gibson. A continuation award to include an academic scholarship and a sports scholarship to Toliwani Adelaja, a continuation award to include an exhibition for Latin, French and drama to Dominic Ward, and a continuation award to include an exhibition for mathematics and Latin is awarded to Mustafa Bilal. A continuation award to include an exhibition for music is awarded to Lana McIntosh, and continuation awards for music are awarded to Zach Carter, Layla Fari, Casper Priest, Carolina Samur, and Leo Salvi. Freeman, an exhibition for music, mathematics, French and Latin to Rahul Cripps, and an exhibition for mathematics and French to Tom Rowe. Exhibitions for design technology are awarded to Samuel Matthews, Madeleine Scott, and Dominic Yakovitsky, an exhibition for Latin and English to Kirill Seaton, and an exhibition for Latin and Science to Aisha McRae. Dante Couette and Bella Tafler, and an exhibition for drama to Samuel Smith. Exhibitions for English are awarded to Talia Ismail and Patrick Willifer, an exhibition for French to Ariane Bassirat, an exhibition for Latin to Louis Yeager, and exhibitions for mathematics to Adam Barnsdale, Luke Davis, and Maxine Hommel. Exhibitions for music are awarded to Irene Damianos and Charles Greville, an exhibition for science to Ruth Hartness, and Todd Sports Awards to Jasmine Garsky and Toby Skelly. And finally, sports scholarships are awarded to Taylor Zane Horsfall, Reva Pindoria, Kim Sicker, Otto Terry, Sasha Turner, and Shauna Woods.
Thank you. And can I add my own congratulations to all of our winners? Leanne, before you get too comfortable, can I now invite you to deliver your address?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I just want to thank Ms. Sanchez and also Nick Priestnell for giving me the opportunity to address you all this Foundation Day. Back when I was in sixth form, if you would have told me that I'd be delivering the Foundation Day speech, I would have found it very difficult to believe. So I'm really grateful and honoured to have been given this opportunity. Now, the topic I've been asked to speak on is transformation. Transformation is something that is very dear to my heart because everything I've achieved to date has stemmed from a desire for me to either transform myself or to transform the environment that surrounds me. And I'm sure that all of us seated in the audience today can relate to the topic of transformation. If I were to ask you to take a moment to imagine a particularly transformative event in your own lives, I'm sure all of you would be able to come up with something. For the parents in the room, maybe this was the birth of your first child. And for the students in the room, maybe this was a successful drama performance or a sports award, or maybe even an interesting holiday that you went on. For me, my transformative moment took place almost 10 years ago now. I was traveling home one day with my sister, and I remember seeing a helicopter landing on a huge grass field near an estate close to where I live. And anybody who knows me well knows that I absolutely love helicopters, so I got really excited. And I managed to convince my sister to follow me to the scene where the helicopter had landed. And when I got there, I remember seeing a crowd of people gathered around. Everybody was just watching. And so I asked the lady in the crowd, why is everybody here? What has happened? And in that moment, my excitement quickly dissipated as I realized that the helicopter hadn't landed for any good reason at all. It was because a young man had been stabbed. So that evening, I went home with a very heavy heart. I remember feeling a sense of grief as I felt like 2 lives have potentially been lost here, one to death and the other to prison. I remember feeling a sense of anger as I thought everybody was just standing there watching, but who was actually going to do something to make a difference? I then remember feeling a sense of disempowerment as I thought, what can I do? I'm just a 15-year-old girl. So that evening, I cried out to God and I meditated and prayed and asked, what can I do? And then the idea came to me that if I aspired to become a trauma surgeon, that would give me a platform to go into environments where young men are victims of knife and gun crime and inspire them to be and to do better. So that is essentially how my vision for life was born. However, in order for me to make strides towards achieving this goal, I would need to go on a very transformational journey, as I would need to transform both my mind and, in some situations, my physical circumstances. And transforming my mind was very important because I was coming from a background which told me that this dream was impossible. I grew up in a single-parent home on a council estate in Peckham. I met my biological father for the first time when I was 19 years old. Out of my 4 siblings, only one other went to university, so going to uni wasn't really the culture in my family. And in my family, there were no medics, so nobody who could mentor me or show me the ropes. And so I needed to transform my mind by empowering myself that I can achieve this goal. I can manifest my potential. I can reach my dreams. And in order to do this on a practical level, one of the things I remember doing is I wrote on a piece of paper lots of affirmations and positive messages, and I used to stick these all around my wall, almost like a wallpaper, because being able to read these things on a daily basis helped to transform my mind and instill a sense of self-belief within me. Practically, I also needed to find out what steps I'd need to take to become 9. And to my surprise, I managed to achieve that. And when it came to applying for sixth form, my sister suggested that I apply for a bursary or a scholarship from a private school. And so I agreed, and she ordered some prospectuses. And I remember one evening we just laid them out on the floor and we were scrolling through them. And if I'm honest with you, I'm more of a visual person, and so I wasn't really reading them in too much depth. I was more so just looking at the pictures. But there was something about the Mill Hill prospectus that stuck out to me. And so I decided that I would apply for that one, and that was the only school that we applied to. And to my surprise, I was awarded the ABC recipient. I was actually the first ever recipient of this. And this is a bursary specifically for a student who wants to study medicine or dentistry. And so again, this required more transformation because I had never imagined the possibility of going to study at a boarding school. And so to go from the environment that I was familiar with to boarding school, it was really daunting and a scary, as was said, from every school, the second year of medical school. I became very disheartened when I realized how much of a lack of diversity there is across UK medical schools. In 2015, the British Medical Association published an article called The Right Mix, which highlights that across the UK, 50% of the schools are not producing a single medical applicant. And I believe these statistics are shocking, and Year 9 programme to inspire, equip, and increase the self-confidence of students who want to study medicine and who are coming from these types of backgrounds. And we actually secured a grant from Comic Relief at the start of this year, which allowed us to hire our first ever staff member. And we're in the process of developing 2 additional programs so that we can provide students with a continuous intervention. Because a one-off program is important, but it's not sufficient. These students need to be supported throughout their whole journey towards the application process to medical school. And as a result of the work I've been doing through the foundation, as was said, I was awarded one of the UK 2018 Final Queen's Young Leaders Award by Her Majesty the Queen at Buckingham Palace last year, which was an incredible opportunity that I'm really grateful for. And the Queen's Young Leaders Programme is essentially a programme which recognises 2 leaders from all of the countries across the Commonwealth, and we're all flown in to have this ceremony, and we get leadership as well, which was really helpful. Now, the reason I'm sharing all of this with you is because, as I said at the beginning, everything I've achieved to date has stemmed from a desire for me to either transform myself or to transform the environment that surrounds me. And I want to encourage everybody today to think about yourself as potentially an agent of transformation. We all possess the ability to transform our circumstances and our surroundings. And I feel like we should all feel like we have a sense of responsibility to do this, to leave the world in a better place than what we found it. So I really hope that my speech has inspired you today. And above all, I hope that you will seek to be agents of transformation. And even if you're not necessarily going to go out and set up a charity, I know that we're all very busy people, but I do encourage you to support those who are being agents of transformation, because I can testify that it is not easy trying to balance a medical degree with setting up a charity. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us the first part of your transformational journey. I look forward to hearing more in years to come. Could I now invite the senior monitors, Alfie Shikale, Katie Sai-Ellis, and Badia Gujani to the platform to give a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Firstly, on behalf of the Foundation, I would like to thank Leanne for coming to deliver such an inspiring and heartfelt message to us today. I do intend to speak mainly towards my fellow pupils in saying that we can take a lot away from Leanne's experiences to shape our own futures. However, I think we can all admire the qualities of resilience, passion, and commitment she has shown along her journey so far. She is an incredibly relatable example of how far self-belief and dedication can propel you. For me, Leanne embodies what the term Millhillian should resemble. Not only has she forged her own pathway through hard work and taken full advantage of the opportunities presented to her, but what is even more admirable is the way she has used her success to help transform the lives of others. Hearing Leanne's triumphs also made me reflect on a particular experience during my trip to Zambia this summer. A speech made by a 24-year-old local volunteer called Marvin. In a sincere and emotional moment, Marvin opened up to the group about his upbringing. Fatherless throughout, he had suffered an abusive childhood, and his mother had passed away just 18 months earlier. What struck me initially was the strength he had showed to overcome the obstacles that life had presented him with to achieve his ambitions. However, what I find more stunning is his insistence on using these experiences to help others. These stories not only highlight the bubble of privilege Mill Hill offers us, but also pose a significant question. With the world rapidly changing around us, and in some ways transforming for the worse, do stories such as Leanne's and Marvin's show us it is no longer enough to take the opportunities that present themselves in an environment such as Mill Hill, but rather, is it becoming more vital that we take these opportunities and use them to change the world for the better? Mill Hill offers endless opportunities and opens up new pathways that will benefit us massively in later life. But in doing so, we must also remember to put our talents and energy to the service of society. Improving the environment around us, as Leanne has done, will be the result. Thank you.
Today's theme is transformation. I believe my greatest transformation while at Mill Hill has been to see the world not just in black and white, but as a balance of something in between. I believe that Mill Hill's got it right. Although it's an academic school, it doesn't hothouse the pupils, and it definitely doesn't churn out any snowflakes. Unlike so many other institutions, Mill Hill's broad range of extracurricular activities help stop discrimination against those with an intuitive intelligence that may not be primarily academic. This ethos has enabled me to realize my interest in medicine, which I'm sure Leanne can relate to. But the balance we find here isn't necessarily mirrored in the outside world, for there's no such thing as a world on an even keel. It's a bit more subtle than that, but we should try to avoid polar extremes. The culture of overworking to death, which the Japanese call karoshi, is one example of this. Dolly Parton said, "Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." And I, unsurprisingly a Libra, believe that this outlook could not be more relevant than now. This message has been iterated throughout human history, from Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, to Aristotle's golden ratio. This special ratio is approximately 3/5 to 2/5, but the seeming imbalance is so aesthetically pleasing that it becomes harmonious. So it wasn't just Dolly who saw the importance of keeping an equilibrium that may not be 50-50. In context, everything has a balance that may not be in the middle. I think it's worth considering this, whether in arguments, choices, or in yourself. This approach can give overlooked opportunities a second chance and may even transform your life. It did mine. Thank you.
It is a great honor to be the first senior boarding monitor to give a speech at the Foundation Day. I'm happy to give voice to the boarding community because we are different. Life throws different challenges at us. We miss home, friends, family, even our own beds. But we embrace our challenges and turn them into strength. Many of us cross the world to board at Mill Hill, and nobody leaves home without a good reason. We have dreams and goals that are worth making sacrifices for, and that is why boarders are resilient, committed, and determined Mill Hillians. But please, don't think it's all hardship. I love boarding, and I love the support we all give to each other. That's helped me step out of my comfort zone many times at Mill Hill. In boarding, we are a big, big family. I have crazy gym cousins, energetic little sisters, and all my brothers who have never left my side. Within Mill Hill, we are the smaller community, but we have the biggest hearts. So to those who have just joined us, we welcome you with open arms. To those who have left us, we miss you and we wish you the very best. And to my current brothers and sisters, thank you for helping me along my journey. I hope I can help you with yours. So let's make it count.
Thank you. It remains for me just to thank the academic staff and every member of the support staff for all of the hard work and effort they put into the continued success of this great school. I would also like to thank you, the parents, for your continued support, expressed as it is in so many ways. This concludes the formal part of today's celebrations. A barbecue lunch is now going to be served on the head's lawn, and I very much hope you all enjoy that and the various displays and exhibitions this afternoon. Can I ask you all to remain seated while the platform party and guests leave the hall? Thank you.